what's up? It's Renee Mija. So this is the Tascam DV-RA1000. This was going to be the Blu-ray equivalent to audio recording, but with the advent of streaming and people using a lot of computers to listen to their music, it pretty much got erased. The audio quality on this is so high. So normally when we record music, we record to 44K, 48K, 88K, 96K, 192, etc. This thing uses DSD, which is the equivalent of going up into the 2000K in terms of audio quality. Now, some people say, oh, it doesn't matter. You don't hear anything above 96K or above 192K. You do hear a difference. It's very similar to the argument about tape. And a lot of people say, oh, you don't hear a difference with tape. You do hear a difference. Actually, one of my favorite music producers in the world, he talked so highly about DSD. He felt like that was the second best thing to tape if he can't get analog tape. It made me go out and buy it and check it out for myself. So I spent dozens of hours going through testing the sound quality, and what you'll hear is when you record through DSD, which is very difficult to do at times, you're going to hear a difference in air. You're going to hear a lot of frequencies that make it sound like you're actually in the room with the person. Now, recording in DSD is not practical because our systems for our DAWs, our digital audio interfaces, are geared towards PCM. There are ways to do it, but usually I just end up recording the tape, right? Or recording a little bit to the DAW direct in with a good interface. However, in certain cases, I do really enjoy recording to this recorder. This recorder was used a lot in the early 2000s in project music studios, recording studios, and it was used because you could actually finish and complete a high quality master on here and burn it to CD and burn it to DVD. Back in the day, that was a big deal. You also can imprint certain metadata and details about the song project within the disc itself. When I like to use this is typically going to be when I'm mastering a track. It's always best to have masters backed up to a physical location outside of a computer drive. I have so many songs that have gotten saved because of having CDs and DVDs that I've kept over the years. Sometimes a hard drive can have internal problems and it ends up corrupting everything that's on there. I've had it happen twice. So it's good to have that physical copy. For whatever reason, I have CDs and DVDs that go back a long time. Those have never been corrupted. So I always like to keep a physical copy of my stems and of my masters. So if you are into music production, I highly advise keep a physical copy of your stems, of your mix downs, of your master copies of your song. It makes a big difference, and you might not need it now. It might be 20 years from now that you want to go back and do a remix on it, or you want to listen to it and you still have it. This thing is excellent. It's basically an all-in-one workhorse. It has EQ built in. It has compression built in. You can set up your fades on your track. You can basically do a mini mix and mini master on this device. And you can also even record straight into it at DSD mode, which is super high quality. Okay, so here's the Tascam DV-RA1000. And let's take a look at the back. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful RCA components, so we can connect it with our mixing board, with our tape machines. Fantastic. It also has word sync, and here is the cable that we would use to connect word sync, which is a coaxial cable. Word sync is really helpful if you have additional analog, hybrid, digital mixing and mastering equipment, because it'll help you keep time between all of the pieces of equipment. We also have here the beautiful remote. This is extremely helpful. This is gorgeous. I also want to say that this has one of the best headphone preamplifiers on it that I have ever heard. I have several headphone preamplifiers, and this is my favorite one. In the future, we'll do a video about headphone preamplifiers probably. I should also note that if you have one of these, you have to use a DVD-RW disc. When I first got it, I was super excited. I ran out and bought all these different DVDs. Unfortunately for DSD mode, it's pretty much required to use the DVD-RW. I find the Sonys are the best ones. So since I'm showing how to convert it to DSD mode, we start by first putting the disc in and formatting it. So we're just going to do quick mode because quick mode takes a few minutes. Full mode can take a lot longer than that. And we'll select DSD. So here's a quick overview look at the different menu components. We have settings for pretty much everything, for calendar, for fade-ins, for fade-outs, for metadata, for various sync features, like pretty much everything that you're going to need. However, if we're going to use the effects, we do have to use it in a mode that is PCM. Basically, in order to use the effects, you cannot use DSD mode. The effects are going to be EQ, compression, and more. Here's an example of how to record with it. Really simple. We just hit the record button, ready, hit play. And then stop. And we're all set. Super simple. And afterwards, we can make post-edit changes like adjusting the fade, adjusting the start time. We won't do all of this here, but it has full functionality. All right, so for fun, let's check out some of the EQ settings. We'll check out the low, mid, and high. We'll also check out some of the compressor settings. I normally wouldn't use this for EQ or compression, but it is possible to do it. Before, after, before, after, before, after, before, and after. The capabilities of this is amazing. So in this video, we did not record in using DSD. I can do that at some point, probably record in using DSD and compare that. We don't need to do that. Just know that if you're recording standard vocal or bass or drums or something like that, you can actually do it with this if you want to. It is going to be a little bit trickier to get it onto the computer and convert it for your DAW if you're doing multi-tracks. If you're doing a single track, like if I am just doing vocal or something like that, perfect. So DSD is awesome. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the day and see you soon. Bye-bye.